Okej, då är vi klar. So find a nice, comfortable sitting position on your mat. Our drishti, the gaze, can just fall down in front of us. Just taking a little moment here for ourselves. Noticing how we're doing today, our feelings, our thoughts, our energy. And if you'd like to set an intention for today's practice, then you can do that now. Just thinking a little bit about why you decided to come to this class, and if there's anything specifically that you'd like to focus on. Maybe what expectations you might have. And then I'd like you to think a little bit forwards into the future. Maybe in a half a year to a year from now, where do you see your practices then? So is it the same place that it is today? Maybe you're just practicing to take care of the body in a general sense. That's totally fine. Or maybe you've gotten a little bit better in something specific. Maybe built a little bit more strength, a little bit more flexibility, less stress, anxiety, whatever. What is it that you're looking for? And finally, based upon how you're doing today, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that I can do during this next hour to take at least a small step towards these goals? And when you're ready to continue, we're going to begin to activate the bandhas, so the root lock, the stomach lock, the throat lock, finding this length along our spine, closing the mouth and breathing in and out through the nose. Begin to connect with the Ujjayi breath. And when you're ready to start moving, you can bring your hands behind you and spreading your legs out wide here. So this is going to be an active pose if you're ready for that. Meaning here we're pressing our legs down into the floor, we're flexing the feet, finding this length through the spine with the bandhas, rotating the biceps out, and maybe dropping the head or doing some small movements here, maybe rolling the shoulders a little bit. And we're going to come back up. So hands on the hips, pressing ourselves forwards, or if it's available, bringing the hands in front of us and walking a little bit over. Again, finding some length here, biceps up, shoulders down, deep breaths. And feel free to explore a little bit, maybe rocking side to side, flexing, pointing the feet. We're going to come up here and find a little side stretch. So the hand is coming out from one of the hips, opening up here, again, rotating the shoulders, and then finding a nice little stretch in our side body. Feel free to explore here, maybe curving over, opening up. And on the next inhale, we're coming up out of the pose, and exhale, finding the stretch on the opposite side. So here, being as active or as passive, being as flowy or as still as you'd like to. Final breath. Releasing the pose here, collecting the legs, and we're going to roll down onto our backs. So taking a moment, we're going to find this little Setu Bandhasana flow, this half bridge flow. So pressing the feet down while the hips are coming up. Now your hands can be along your sides or maybe sending them over your head. So just taking a moment here, activating the back body, the glutes, the legs, your back. And on your next exhale, we're going to begin to roll down vertebrae after vertebrae. We'll do two more here a little bit faster. So on the inhale, pressing all the way up. And on the exhale, coming all the way down. And one more inhale all the way up. And exhale. Very nice. Finding a little twist here, maybe sending the arms out from our shoulders and dropping the knees down to one side, keeping the lower stomach particularly active here. On your next inhale, the knees are coming up, and on the exhale, changing sides. And a little flow in between these two. So inhale, knees up. Exhale, changing sides. Inhale again, knees up. Exhale, changing sides. One more round. And on your next inhale, coming back to the starting point. From here, we're going to straighten our legs up towards the sky. And then we're also going to send our arms up. So straight up from the shoulders and from our hips. A little bit of activity here, keeping the legs together. So pulling in your whole stomach here, pressing the lower spine into the floor. And then we're going to gently lower one of the legs as far down as what's comfortable for your hip. Bending the knee if you need to, and maybe the heel is just barely touching that floor. And then inhale, coming up. Left leg. Exhale, the left leg is coming down. Slowly, controlled, inhale and up. And we're going to switch to the arms. So the palms are facing each other. Right arm down, sending the fingertips to the back wall. Inhale, the arm is coming up. And the other arm. Exhale down. Inhale up. Very nice. And the legs one more time. Right leg or one of your legs is coming down. Inhale up. Opposite leg. Exhale. Inhale up. And the arms. Maybe we can do both arms here now at the same time. Exhale down, keeping the stomach in. Inhale up. Maybe we can do both legs now. Exhale down, or doing one leg at a time. Inhale, coming up. And trying to do both legs and both arms. So just coming as far down as what you're comfortable with. Inhale, coming up. We'll do one more round here. Exhale. Pressing into that lower spine. Inhale up. And grabbing the legs, give ourselves a little hug, rocking back and forth. So here, really connecting with our core. We're going to be needing that a lot today. Start rolling along our spine. And then we're going to stay down here on our backs, finding a little extra flow and a little extra challenge for our core. So we're going to straighten our legs up again and then see if we can, on the exhale, touch our toes. And then on the inhale, we're going to maybe bring the hands down, press the feet over us, and see if we can bring the hips up. So in a sort of a modified plow pose. And then slowly down. Here again, press the lower back down, lifting up, see if we can touch our toes. Exhale, coming down. Inhale. And exhale all the way down and up. We'll do a couple more here. Maybe challenging yourself a little more to keep the arms over your head. So when we do the plow pose, we're just really working with our core. Very nice. Okay, we're going to find the easiest way up here. So maybe we can just roll along our spine or come up through the side and finding all four, tabletop. So our hands underneath the shoulders, doing a little light warm up here as we have been doing lately. Index finger, middle finger pointing straight forwards, leaning into the hands, rotate the biceps, and then a little bit side to side, or maybe you want to be doing some circles instead. And then first the one way and then the other way. All right, rotating the fingertips out to the side. And if it's available, then the fingers more towards your knees. Same thing here, but the opposite direction. So sending the weight back on our legs, keeping a little micro bend in the elbows to not overstretch, side to side, or doing some small circles here. All right, so we have two more to do. We're going to rotate, so the back of the hands onto the mat, but try to keep some more weight on your legs, as this is going to protect the wrists a little bit. This one can be quite intense. So pressing lightly down, rotate the biceps forwards, and then sending the weight backwards. Now from here, if it's available to you and if it feels okay, I want you to start thinking of trying to make some fists with your fingers. So pulling the fingers and the thumbs in towards your palms. So working on activating those forearms a little bit. Very nice. Okay, from here, bring the hands back again under the shoulders. We're going to lean as far forwards as we can. And then we have another little strengthening exercise here. So you're going to really push into the hands and then see if you can lift the heel of your hand. So the part that's right under your wrist. So it's probably just going to be a very small amount and then lowering it down again. So keep those biceps rotated forwards, just lifting a little bit up and then down. We'll do a couple more here. All right, very nice. Preparing here for a little cat-cow, so finding that active pose with the bandhas, and begin to inhale and exhale. Working the core, the spine, around the hips and the shoulders. Continuing here for a couple more breaths, or if you're ready for it, we can press down into the balls of the feet and then see if you can lift your knees, continuing here with the cat-cow. So just making it that much more challenging. All right, from here, we're going to walk the hands further forwards and then finding our downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Taking a couple of breaths here, just start walking out the legs, dancing with the hips, rolling the shoulders and your head, connecting with the bandhas and your breath. Very nice. Finding the full expression of the pose. We're going to be moving into our animal walks. So really activating here. We're going to start with the hands, slowly shifting the weight from side to side as we're taking some small steps with the hands. All the way back to the feet. And taking a moment for ourselves at the back. And when you're ready, start walking the hands forwards again. Keeping the peace fingers forwards and rotating those biceps. So we're engaging the shoulders. When we come all the way forwards to our downward facing dog, taking a moment, getting ready, and then we're going to start to walk the legs or the feet further forwards. And taking a moment here in Uttanasana. So we're going to work on a little malasana or yogi squat flow. I'm just adjusted here so you can see a little bit easier. We're going to rotate the toes and the knees out to the side. So really activating your glutes. Now I don't want you to think of just using gravity to let yourself come down, but I want you to think of pulling yourself down towards the floor and then pressing into the legs and sending the hips up. We'll do two more here. So pull yourself down towards the floor as far as you can. Keep the legs active and then pressing up. And we'll do one more. Pull yourself down and press yourself up. Very nice. Adjusting the feet again behind the hands into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. So our left leg is taking a giant step back behind us. Dropping the back knee. Taking a moment here to find the stretch in the front of the thigh and hip. So since we're focusing on building strength in this class, we're really going to start activating the body here to prepare for what's going to come later. So maybe bring your hands up on some blocks or support yourself on your thigh. Going up on the ball of the foot on the back leg, pulling in the stomach and pressing your glutes forwards. Pressing both feet down onto the floor, pulling them towards each other. And then I want you to think of sending the top of the head up towards the roof. Now from here, we're going to try to lift that back knee just a little bit. So very slowly, very controlled, keep all that activation going. And we're going to keep straightening more and more. Really push down, pull the legs towards each other until we come as far up as we can. And then the same as we did in Malasana, we're going to pull ourselves back down again towards the floor. So don't just use gravity, but really pull yourself down. And from here, sending the hips backwards, finding our pyramid pose. Or, sorry, not pyramid pose. Finding our half split. So opening up the back leg. We're preparing the body for our pyramid pose. All right, so the same thing that we just did. Now feel free to keep that knee a little bit bent if that feels better for you. But placing the hands on the floor, maybe the whole hands, pressing into both of the legs, pulling the legs towards each other, and then again, lifting that back knee. Slowly, slowly, slowly straightening as much as what's available for you. Finding that long spine, holding the pose. And then exhale, pulling yourself back down again to the floor. Very nice. Spinning that front knee, coming forward one more time. We're going to move into a little modified warrior 3. So using that same activation we just had to pull ourselves forwards. Hands on the floor, lifting up that back leg. Feel free to start here with bent knees, and if it's comfortable for you, then you can begin to straighten out more and more. We're going to transition here into our chair pose. So dropping that back leg down beside the other one, bending both knees, hands to the hips, hard or up over our head. Deep breath. Coming a little bit lower. On the inhale, we're coming all the way up to the sky, maybe a slight heart opener. And on the exhale, back down again to chair. And then folding over. Changing legs. So this time the opposite leg is coming back behind us. Dropping that back knee. 2 breaths, finding the pose, getting the body ready. All right, bringing the hands up. Supporting wherever you want to. So abdominals, glutes, press the legs down, pull them towards each other, and then start to lift that back knee just a little bit up, gradually, then going further and further and further, straightening the knees as much as you can, and then pulling yourself down towards the floor. Touching that back knee and then sending the hips backwards, opening up into our half splits. So here, relaxing the body, gathering our energy for the next little round. So when you're ready, hands further forward, pressing into the legs, lifting that back knee, slow coming up. Trying to find extension in every direction to the top of the head, deep breaths, and pulling yourself down towards the floor. Beautiful. Bringing that foot further forwards again here to the modified lunge. Getting ready for our warrior 3, so pull yourself forward. Finding that balance, opening up, maybe just 2 of the fingers or your index fingers down. Make it a little bit more challenging. Very nice pose, very nice balance. And on your next exhale, dropping that back leg down and finding our chair pose. So this time I have another challenge for you. So be here, here, up here. And we're gonna do 2 rounds. So feel free to move the weight over into one of your legs and see if you can lift up the heel, maybe just balancing on the toes. Inhale, coming all the way up. A little heart opener. And then exhale, coming down. And then dropping that heel and changing legs. Lifting up the other heel, maybe on the toes. Inhale, coming up. Heart opener. Exhale, pulling yourself down. Down with the leg, folding over. Very nice. A little slow vinyasa, hands on the floor, stepping back to a high plank. Exhale to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing. Dropping the knees to the mats, taking a moment here, straightening out the arms, and a few deep breaths. So just a little break, resting the body. All right, everything good so far? Very nice. Feeling warm? Yeah, nice. Okay, it's only gonna get worse. Okay, so coming back forward into our high plank. So starting with this really strengthening sequence, we're going to be pushing down, hips the same height as our shoulders. Pull ourselves forward. So think of pulling your hands towards your toes and your toes towards your hands. In with the stomach, activated the legs. 10 Chaturanga push-ups. On the exhale, coming down. On the inhale, coming up. And 2. If there's too many, then you just hold your plank. And up. 3. And up. 4. And up. 5. And up. 6. 7. Almost there. 8. 9, and 10. Very nice. Coming back here to our downward facing dog right away. Keep those shoulders and those arms activated. Deep breath. Lifting up one of the legs to our three-legged dog. Continuing to open up to scorpion. On the exhale, tiger curl, knee to chest. Placing that foot down between the hands, dropping that back knee, and then resting for a moment. Collecting the energy. 2 more breaths. So we're going to move into these lunges that we just did, that we did super slow. We're going to do it a little bit faster, so it'll be like 1 breath up, exhale down, and then we have 10 repetitions. So it's going to be heavy, so pace yourself. If it becomes too much, then just take your break either all the way up or all the way down, Okay, so coming in, hands can be on your hips, in front of your heart, or up. Stomach, glutes, legs, press, pull, and prepare. So inhale, climbing all the way up. Exhale, all the way down. Just barely touch that knee on your mat. And 2, and down. 3, and down. Try to touch that back knee. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to get a break after this. And 10. On the exhale, slowly coming down. Drop that back knee. Open up the front leg here, finding our lizard pose. So just dropping the hips, resting the body. So we're going to move on to a little core flow. So we have to make our way up to, just keep taking a break. I'm just going to explain here. So we're moving up to warrior 2, and then to peaceful triangle and flowing back and forth there. So we've been doing a little bit for the core, mainly for the front and the back, but we need to engage much more the sides here now as well. So more like the obliques, Okay, so bring this leg back in front of us. Sending the opposite hand of the foot up and over into warrior 2. Taking a moment here. It's going to adjust. So deep pose. Pressing into the front leg, activating the same that we just did, coming all the way up. Now, use your glutes to keep the knees pointing the same directions as your toes. Pulling the legs towards each other, and we're going to lean over to that back leg. Option to bring the hands down in front of the heart or on your hips if this gets too heavy, So from here, inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming forwards. Really pull your whole stomach in and the lower ribs. Inhale up, exhale back. So the whole movement here is happening from your core. That's what's guiding the movement. The arms are just joining in. Inhale up and back. So that's 3, 4. We're doing 10 here, by the way. 5, 6. If it's going too fast or too slow, then you can decide the tempo, slow it down or speed it up. 7. Leaning as far in as you want, keeping those legs active. 8. 9. And 10. Coming back to the center, hands down, and then resting the body for a moment. About 3 breaths. Yeah? So the next thing, I'm just going to adjust here again. We're going to move into our half moon pose to come into our warrior three. In warrior three, feel free to keep your hands on the floor. So the focus in this class isn't so much about balance, but strength. When we get into warrior three, then we're going to be doing some squats with the standing leg. Yeah? So since we have so much weight on the leg, it's just going to be 6 repetitions from here. Yeah? We'll see how we do. So getting ready, arms out onto the side, push that front leg, coming forwards through half moon pose, closing the hip down to warrior three and dropping the hands on the floor, straightening out those legs. So stay here or on the exhale, bending as far down as you can. Keep that back leg parallel. Inhale, coming up. And 2. Lift that back leg. And up. 3. And up. 4. And up. 5. As far down as you can. Keep breathing. And 6. Last one. Very nice. But we have to stay here. Supersetting with standing split. So dropping the head, bringing the hands closer to the foot. Now the back leg, we're really going to be working our butts. So on the inhale, you're going to press that back leg up as high as you can. And on the exhale, you're going to drop the toes down towards the floor. Feel free to bend that standing leg. Just doing 6 here as well. So 2. 3. Very nice. 4. 5, a little bit slower. And 6. Hold, 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 hold. Press, 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 press. Dropping that leg down, finding our hero pose. So both legs down, and then just come to sitting. So we can rest here for a moment. Oh, it's heavy, yeah? Okay, so we did a little bit for the legs there. We need to go back and do a little bit for the shoulders. So we'll move on to some pike push-ups and downward facing dog. Two more breaths. So feel free to do a full vinyasa if you'd like to, or just hands down and stepping back to our downward facing dog. So preparing here for pike push-ups. Now, full expression of the pose, biceps forwards, shoulders to your ears. We're doing 10 here. So on the exhale, pull your shoulders down into your back, and then bending your elbows down towards the mat, maybe touching. Inhale, pressing all the way back up again. And 2, coming down. And up. 3. And up. 4. 5. 6. 7. Very nice. Almost finished. 8. Only 2 more. 9. And 10. Supersetting here with a couple of jumps. So just having a little fun, shaking things out, bending the knees, straightening, keep the shoulders to the ears, maybe doing a couple of small hops if you feel like it. And maybe as well we can come forwards, find a little tucked balance, and maybe finding a little bit of air time as well. Finishing off in crow pose. So if you feel like it, jumping forwards and landing in your crow, or just stepping forwards and then working on that little balance. Taking about 3-4 more breaths. Oh, yes, beautiful. Very nice. Final here. Feel free to do a full vinyasa if you'd like to, or just coming back to sitting on the legs. We're gonna come all the way down to laying on our back. So if you're doing the full vinyasa, just jump through as normal, or coming through here to sitting. Okay, so we've been working the legs, we've been working the shoulders, we're doing a little bit of the back body before I'm gonna introduce this new kind of like pulling movement. So there is a bit of a lack of pulling movements in yoga, but I feel like I've kind of figured out one way that we can work on really strengthening between the shoulders and the lats, and then getting that biceps in, yeah? So first things first here, we're gonna be doing some reverse tabletops. So fingers out to the side, or the peace fingers pointing forwards. When we come up, we're gonna have the knees over the hands, shoulders, knees over the feet, shoulders over the hands. So really pressing the hips up, and on the exhale, lowering down, relaxing. We have 10 repetitions here. So inhale, press up as much as you can. Exhale, coming down. So we're really working the glutes, the legs, the core. Inhale up, 3. And down. 4. Inhale up, drop that head. And down. 5. And down. 6. And down. 7. 8. 9. Final time. And 10. Pressing up and holding one extra breath. Press, 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 press. And exhale, coming down. Ooh, relaxing here. 2, 3 breaths. So I'm going to show the next pose while you're taking your break. So from here, the legs out in front of us, we're going to be working on this shooting archer pose. So the one leg is active, the other is grabbing hold of the foot. Now letting that knee drop out to the side, but you're going to keep your shoulders straight and down into the back, and then rotate your biceps up towards the ceiling. So from here, pressing the foot into the hand, and then we're going to allow the hand to come as far forward. If you see my shoulder here now, I'm letting my shoulder come as far forward as what's available to me, and I'm activating from between the shoulders, boom, pulling my shoulder blades together, and then I'm going to bend my elbow, pulling that knee back while I'm pushing the foot in my hand as much as I possibly can. So that was 1, and then slowly pressing the foot forwards. So I'm holding tension in this arm and in my back the whole time. 2, pulling back and pressing forwards. 3. Very nice. 4. 5. Trying to keep that straight spine. 6. Very nice. 7. 8. 9. 10. All right, since we got to work all the muscle groups at least twice, then we have to do the other side right away, the left side, or the opposite of what we just did. So then when we do the next round, then we get to do everything at least twice. So other leg, coming up here, finding the pose, activating. This hand could be on the side or on your hip, pressing forwards, and 1. 2. 3. Keep pressing that tension into the hand the entire time. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. and 10. Very nice, releasing the pose. Taking a little break, child's pose, maybe Paschimottanasana, just breathing here. We'll take at least a minute to rest the body. And then we're gonna do everything for the opposite side. So important when we take these breaks, stop, breathe, and really just let the body rest. Preparing yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, maybe even just releasing all those things, allowing it to be as heavy as it is without us coming in and thinking too much or judging it too much, yeah? And just imagine at the end of this class how amazing everything is gonna feel. 20 seconds. All right, rolling over, coming up and finding our plank position, getting ready for 10 Chaturanga push-ups. Now, feel free to bring the knees down, yeah, and just do half reps. So maybe even just a quarter of the way down or half the way down. It doesn't need to be all the way. All right, so 2, 3, 4, slowly, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Pushing back immediately to downward facing dog. So keeping that tension on the muscles, just in a different angle. Bringing in three-legged dog, the opposite leg, little scorpion, and then coming forwards here to tiger curl, setting down that front leg, and then a little break. 3 breaths. So we're gonna do that little lunge to pyramid, well, sort of a pyramid flow. So coming up here, shifting the focus to the legs, hands on the hip in front of the heart, or if your shoulders are ready, you can be here to work even more. So stomach, glutes, legs, press and pull towards each other. Lift that back knee slowly. So remember here, inhale all the way up, straighten the knees. Exhale, keep pulling and pull yourself down. 2. So we're activating as much as possible here. And down. 3. 4. 5. 6. 'Almost finished. 7. 8. 9. 10. Very nice. Whew, coming down, releasing the pose, opening up that front leg into lizard, and taking a little break. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I can definitely feel it in my legs. Whew, that's pretty heavy. Yeah. So after this, we're coming up through our warrior 2, finding our peaceful triangle, and then going back to the core, yeah? So especially the sides and the obliques. Final breath. Bringing that front leg in underneath us again. Swinging the arm around, helping us up. Woo, to our warrior two. Inhale, the arms are coming up. Exhale, leaning back. So remember here, the core is what's doing the work. Inhale up. Exhale forwards. Inhale. And exhale. 2. Inhale up. So remember, you can keep your hands in front of your heart if you like. 3. Or the hands can also be at the hips. And 4. 5. Keep pressing into the legs without overextending the knees. 6. Pulling in your whole stomach and the lower ribs. 7. Our core is initiating and is stopping the movement. 8. Almost finished. 9. And last time. 10. Woo! Very nice. Inhale, coming up here and releasing. Relaxing. 2-3 breaths. So we're going to transition towards our warrior 3. So we'll start here through half moon pose, closing that hip, keep the fingers down. And since there'll be so much more weight and it'll be so much more challenging, just 6 repetitions and then continuing into our standing split. Yeah, and that little pump of the back leg. So really, really, really working the hips, the glutes, and the thighs. Okay. Gazing forwards, head on the hips. Pulling yourself forward with that front leg. Opening up. Closing the hip. Warrior 3, hands down. So, super active thighs. Keep that back leg parallel the entire time. And exhale, bend the standing knee. Inhale, straighten. And 2. And up. 3. And up. 4. 5. And 6. Very nice. From here, dropping the head down, we're going to find the standing splits of the back leg. Drop it down. And on the inhale, straighten and push it up towards the sky. Exhale down. And 2. And down. And 3. 4. 5. And 6. Last time. Up, 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 and hold, hold, hold. Dropping the leg down, hero pose. Woo, coming to sitting. And resting. All right, hanging in there. Yeah, right, it's tense. So this is gonna be bums of steel. So this one, especially I feel the standing splits with pumping that back leg, really pressing it up. And then later with the sort of hip hinge movement of the reverse tabletop, it's really, really a good workout for the hips and the glutes. All right. So just moving on to the arms, doing our pike push-ups. 10 of those as well. So from downward facing dog. Preparing. Remember, just do modified if that's where you are today, or full or somewhere in between. So exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, very nice, 8, almost finished, 9, and 10. Coming back, supersetting immediately with doing a few jumps. So I know this is heavy, and that's the whole point. Jumping, 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 maybe finding some air time. Last 2 breaths. You got this, you got this, you got this. Yes, there you go, there you go. And then walking or jumping forwards, finding our little Bakasana just for a couple of breaths. Hold, hold, hold. Coming back down on the feet and into sitting, and then rest. Woo. So this is like proper strength and cardio all in one. So last 2 exercises, yeah? All we're gonna do is hip hinge, get those hips up, 10 reps, and then moving into the shooting archer, the dynamic shooting archer, and then that's it. Then we're just gonna stretch out for a couple minutes, and then that's gonna be it for today's class. Whew. So, a few more breaths. Collecting the energy, yeah? Siste inspurt. This is it for today, and then we're done. All right, you ready to go? I'm ready to go. Remember, deep breaths. Yeah, the breath is what's gonna give you all the energy that you need. So coming up, and if it's going too fast, then you do it in your own tempo, and you can always jump over 1 or 2 of the reps if you need to. All right, so pressing up, coming in, 1, and down, 2, 3, pulling the heels and the fingers towards each other the whole time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost there, 9, press, 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 and the last one we're gonna hold for 1 more breath. So press all the way up, really grab those glutes, press, 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 and then exhale, slowly coming down. Whew. Okay, relax, relax, deep breaths. So last exercise, shooting archer, to really work the biceps and the back of the shoulder blades. Yeah, or around the shoulder blades. Yeah? You ready to go? Okay, let's do it. So legs out, active pose. Find that length, the bundles are turned on, hand and hip are on the floor. And then here, find that tension. So press and keep holding back. 1, 2, 3, keep that leg under tension the entire time. 4, 5, keep pulling the shoulder down into your back. 6, 7, 8, almost there, 9, and last one, 10. All right, changing sides right away. This is the last thing that we're doing, and then just a little stretch. Yeah, get ready, keep breathing. And 1, 2. Pressing that other leg down into the floor. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is it. 9. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Final 1. Keep pressing, keep pulling. And 10. Very nice. Woo, dropping that leg over and then coming into our Paschimottanasana. Now feel free to bend the knees so you can grab your feet, pressing into the hands, and then see if you can let the arms come even further forward. So then we start to stretch a little bit these areas that we've just been working, yeah? Around the shoulders and between the shoulder blades. All right, very nice. Releasing, rolling over the legs. Coming into downward dog and bringing one leg in front of us. Stretching out that back leg, the hip, the thigh. Feel free to add a twist here as well, and maybe grabbing that left back leg. Whew. All right, pigeon pose. Dropping the back or the front leg underneath us and making our way over. So this is the cool down. So try to just really release and relax the body, taking some deep breaths. All right, releasing here and changing sides. Opposite leg coming forwards. Runner's lunge or drop the knee. Find a twist if that feels nice. And maybe grab the back leg. Final breath. And pigeon pose. Last breath. We're gonna roll over here to the sides, finding the easiest way down to laying on our backs, grabbing the knees, either the legs or around the thighs, gently rocking. If it feels right to lift your head and your shoulders, then you can do that. Final here, dropping the knees to the floor, finding a spinal twist. If you have a favorite, then you can do that. Or straightening out one leg and dropping the knee over. A little engagement in the lower abdominals, pulling them in, finding some length in the lower back. And changing sides. And release. So it's already 7 o'clock. So if you need to go, then I understand that. Or we'll go a few minutes over and find Savasana. So we'll take like 2-3 minutes here just to rest the body and then gently come up and release. I'll just change the music. So releasing the bandhas, releasing this active Ujjayi breath. And while we're laying here, you can imagine releasing all the weight, the entire body into the mat. Moving our awareness inwards. And trying not to think, forming any opinions or judging in any way. Just listening and observing. Maybe see if you can notice something new. Okay, yogis. You can start to move the body. Take a few deep breaths, maybe stretching a little bit. When you're ready, you can move over onto one of your sides. Finding the easiest way up to sitting. A nice, comfortable sitting position. Lengthen our spine, closing our eyes. Just taking a moment here and noticing how we're feeling versus how we were an hour ago at the beginning of the class. Bringing our hands together in front of our hearts, bowing our heads, thanking each other, especially ourselves for today. Namaste. All right. That was it for this strong yoga flow. So thanks so much for joining. Any questions, stick around, let me know, or just, drop a comment.